Yes, legend, how are we doing? So today I'm going to run you through how our rockstar client Paul gained 16 clients in under 2 months. He wanted to do this whilst traveling the world. Absolutely love this goal. The reality is, if you're running a coaching business or an online coaching business, a massive benefit of that is that you can work from anywhere in the world. So let me break down exactly how we did it. Now, Paul joined on board with a goal to grow his business whilst traveling. You know, he wanted to travel to 12 countries in 12 months whilst seeing the business grow. Now, we knew that this wasn't always going to be plain sailing. He was going to need strategy, systems, accountability. I told him that he'd likely need to make a hire at some stage. And, we knew it wasn't going to be an easy task. And the reason I love working with Paul is because working with clients like Paul is so rewarding. He is somebody that isn't afraid to work hard. He isn't afraid of taking on board information and implementing said information. And ultimately, he operates his day-to-day life and his business like he is an athlete. He just needed a lot more structure, a lot more accountability, and a clear roadmap to get to his business growth goals. Now, he already had 46 clients. We're seeing more and more of a trend of our Coaches Corner clients who are joining on board and they've already established a business, but they've got to a bottleneck, and usually they are the bottleneck. They can't scale any further, they're burnt out, they're tired, they're fatigued, and they're running their business fairly reactively, right? So we needed to streamline his processes for client acquisition and work on creating systems that allowed him to enjoy his life as he grew and not hinder him, okay? So basically what he needed to do is look at where he allocated his time, and we literally looked at his diary and reviewed it with him, okay? He needed consistent lead generation. This is inbound and outbound. So inbound is people come to you, and outbound is you go to people. And we also needed to give him a reframe on his business. So what I'm going to do, guys, is this system here, I'm going to break this down on one of the final slides, okay? So I'm going to break down what we did to get there, and then on one of the final slides, I'm going to break that down, okay? So if you watch the end, then you'll get all of that. So in terms of how he felt on last week's check-in, I've got to admit, I did mess up on the first slide, and I actually wrote this in here. He actually gained 19 clients in 8 weeks. From when I built this to now, he's actually gained 3 clients since the graphic was built, literally like that. And this is the power of coming to our Dubai event. So he came out to Dubai. There was a load of us staying in the villa for literally a whole week. We did talks, we did presentations, we did one-to-ones, we went out to the desert. It was brilliant. It was really, really good. And when he came out to Dubai, he'd already picked up a few clients. He'd gone up to 49, but after coming back, he got up to 65. And as you can see here, this was one of his check-ins. So honestly, not much has changed, but since Dubai, I feel like I'm in the best headspace ever. What he means by not much has changed, you can have the best strategy, the best systems, the best outlay of content, the best outlay of all the different things. And yes, I'm going to break that down. But the biggest thing for Paul was the shift in mindset. And no system, no Zoom training or whatever can really do that unless you actually have a one-to-one interaction with another human being. And that's why I like coaching a smaller group of coaches, so that I can actually do that. So Paul said here, I couldn't care less if someone leaves, whereas before I'd be shitting myself. What he means by that, not that he wants to just get rid of all of his clients, but before he had anxiety of someone handing in a notice, and having anxiety from someone handing in a notice is a one-way ticket to just burn out and just anxiety fatigue. When you're just so like, oh my God, what if somebody leaves? It's no way, like, you won't scale your business in that mindset. And it's hard to get out of, it is hard to get out of. Back in 2018 and 2019, I felt the exact same way, so I could resonate with Paul on that one, okay? Now, he said, this is all on me actually trusting in my business and what I've built now. I'm no longer riddled with fear that everyone is going to leave one day. It also helps, I've been booking in calls every single week, which is what we help our clients to do. This week, I have another 4 calls. Inquiries are steadily coming through, whereas before I would run dry for a few weeks at a time. So as you can see here, he's less anxious, he's booking on calls every single week, and he's got a lot more consistency with his business growth. And ultimately, that is something that so many people are looking for. And the reason that we're able to provide that for Paul is because he communicates with us, he delivers his check-ins on time, and then I can obviously deliver said feedback, okay? Cool, so our Dubai event was May the 22nd, we're recording this on June the 23rd, so in that time frame, he's actually gained 16 clients. So technically, I've actually done myself out there, because I said he'd done it in 8 weeks, he kind of actually did it in 4. And that's the reality of momentum, First month, picks up a few clients, okay, cool, we're winning, we're doing well here, we're starting to build out things we need to build, and then once things really kick in, which is usually after kind of us getting to know each other, which is the exact same as you guys as coaches, once you get to know your client, obviously you can really give them exactly what they're looking for and exactly what they need, bang, shoots off like a rocket ship. But it's because Paul kept showing up, so he's now less anxious and less stressed. Now, the reason I want to load up Paul's plan, this is Paul's plan, so Paul is a CEO client. He honestly said, like within, I mean, I could show you the entire form, but down here, so when we saved Paul 5 hours a week, I asked off the bat, you know, what are you going to do with that time? He said it would be a lifesaver, you know, inside work, you know, with lead generation, everything, content creation, but also personally, he'd spend more time with his family, with his missus and cooking. And that's exactly what he's been able to do. As you can see there, I'm logging off now after the weekend. He didn't do that before. He used to work all weekend. He's now actually given himself his weekends back, and he's earning more money and gaining more clients from doing that. And he struggled with imposter syndrome. Personally, so let's say, you know, it's quite deep rooted. You know, ultimately, he just says that he's somebody who ruminates through a negative mindset. So in 8 weeks, he used to ruminate through a negative mindset, and now, you know, if someone drops off, then it's fine. I'm in a much better headspace, you know. I'm not riddled with fear anymore. We've done that in 8 weeks. Imagine what we can do in 8 months. Incredible. So literally the first thing, like, right, first things first, we need to get your kind of mindset straight. And what we did, shout out to Gavin if you're watching this, dude. Gavin is our secret weapon. Gavin is ultimately the guy behind the scenes who helps our clients to unlock their true potential from a mindset perspective. Gavin's helped me with my mindset. Gavin is an absolute rock star, okay? And I will shout him out. His book is currently, I don't know if you can see my bookshelf, you can't. My bookshelf is, his book is currently sat on my bookshelf above my bed, and it's a fantastic read. So I'll see if I can drop it in the comments somewhere below. But anyway, we needed to address this, and we needed to ensure that, you know, his business was kind of operating from a place, instead of from scarcity, actually from a place of abundance. So he needed to co-author his imposter syndrome by leaning into myself and leaning into the team. Okay, cool. So with that in mind, in terms of the numbers, he's now earning £12,000 per month. Okay, now when we look at projections for a business, a projection is simply us kind of looking ahead of, right, if we continue on this trajectory, then where will we get to? So if he was earning £12,000 per month and he did that for 12 months, he would be earning £144,000 over the space of a year, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now, the coolest thing is that he didn't need a boost in posts, he didn't need any ad spend, he literally kept that money in his pocket. So, these are the specifics that you guys may need to know. We utilise these to get Paul clients. We had a lead magnet system in place, so we told him the lead magnets to create, which are all in his document there. So we literally specified, create these, they'll be great for your niche and great for your page. So we gave him lead magnets to create. We told him how to post them, when to post them, you know, setting up things like ManyChat, you know, just ensuring that it's easier to kind of gather information from guys and girls and obviously follow up and then kind of nurture them through. Direct and indirect polls, so helping him to engage with his audience, which then brought people to him. The social story selling system, which again is like a really easy framework you can put across your stories that allow people to actually engage with what it is you're putting out. We put a referral system in place. Previously, he got random referrals, but now he's actually got a structure to follow with referrals, and like when to ask, how to ask, and who to ask. Then, you know, he's now picking up more referrals, and also social proof structure. The reality is, Paul's a great coach, and I said to him, I was like, look, mate, you're great at what you do. Your best results are going to be your best marketing. So let's shout about them, let's storytell about them, and let's kind of expand on those results. And if you go check out his page, that's exactly what he's done. Okay. Now, what we did is we basically said to Paul, like, look, we need to have this in a weekly flow. So we kind of mapped things out and said, look, we need to ensure that we've got lead magnets running in the background. We're using polls every single week. We're using social story selling system on those results. And, you know, the referral system is running as we kind of specified. And that's what allowed him to be a lot more consistent. You know, we also helped Paul with his hires, with his first hire. He offloaded a couple hours work per day so that he could focus on being the business owner and not a juggling act. And that allowed him to book in more consistent calls. It allowed him to be less burnt out. It allowed him to travel the world, you know, go into Dubai, as you can see in the background here with us. And what we also do is we had him check in every single week with a plan of action. You know, Paul is one of our CEO clients, and, you know, every single week in his check-in, he will leave that check-in knowing exactly what needs to happen. And then when we jump on a catch-up call, it's the same thing. He'll come with questions, I'll deliver the answers, he goes away and implements, his business grows. We keep things very simple here, okay? Now, the final thing is we actually encourage him to work less, not more. So many coaches are worried that you have to put in more hours, more work, more time. Don't get me wrong, I am anti-bullshit. I don't like bullshit. You are going to have to work hard, you are going to have to commit, you are going to have to do things you've never done before, and you are going to have to get uncomfortable. But when you get to Paul's point, when you begin to leverage, once you're hitting those 10k months, 11k months, 12k months, that is when you, I guess, earn the right to get to a point where you can say, okay, I'm very, very busy. Let's bring on some staff. Let's automate delegate, eliminate any tasks that don't need to be on my plate right now, so that Paul can then continue to run the business and continue to grow the business. And I cannot say enough how excited I am to see Paul continue to grow, because if we can do this in such a short period of time, I can't even imagine where we're going to be by the time we get to Christmas. So guys, right now, at the moment, if you want help building your if you want help to build your business to make it more profitable whilst traveling the world, we can help you with that. Okay. Now, if you want information on that, if you want information on how you can build these systems into your Instagram, both on your stories and your posts, to get more consistent calls booked, just like Paul here. So, every single week he's booking in 4 calls on repeat. He's going from 49 clients up to 65 clients. If you want help feeling less anxious, if you want help feeling less stressed, if you're kind of sat between, maybe you're at 30 clients, maybe you're at 40 clients, perhaps you're at 50. A lot of coaches make the mistake of getting in the 30s, getting in the 40s, getting in the 50s and think, right, that's me done now. And all they do is they kind of ruminate around the same number, because what got you here won't get you there. And that's the reality. You've done a fantastic job to get to this point, but if you want to scale further, that's where we come in. We take away the guesswork. We build you a custom plan. We check in with you every single week. We jump on calls with you, and we map out exactly what is going to be required from you as the business owner to get you from point A to point B with less stress, less anxiety, more clarity, more confidence, and more focus. So if that does sound like you, all you need to do is, once you've watched this video, go onto Instagram, drop me a DM with the word travel, okay? Now, at the moment, I'm the only person in my DMs. That's the way that I prefer to run things. The vast majority of our clients, even to today, which makes me so proud to say this out loud, is word of mouth and referrals. I don't sit spamming people in my DMs every single day. Okay, so if you message me that word travel, I personally will get back to you as soon as I can, and I will help you with growing your business. Now, if we jump on that call and we strategize a plan and we look through what you've been doing and we figure out exactly what needs to happen and it doesn't fit, that's absolutely fine. At least you'll have an understanding of what you could be doing. But I just want to share with you right now that there are coaches right now that are traveling the world, that are hopping from country to country to country, earning more money whilst doing so, gaining more clients whilst doing so, and learning how to hire a team so that they don't have to do all the work themselves. There are people doing that, and I can help you to do the exact same thing. So that word again, just DM me the word travel. I'll know exactly where you've come from. I'll know exactly what you've just watched. I'll look at your Instagram. I'll give you some nuggets of information, and we'll see if I can help you out. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the training today, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.